All right. Good morning. Can you see me? I see you. Still with me. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel. I heart Aries. My name is Chelsea, and this is the channel where we do all Aries readings. Before I get started, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge my mother. She's definitely here with me right now. I actually just had a good cry and just spoke to her. And right before I got on here, she was like, "You can start your live. They're going to see me." So maybe you might be able to see her a little bit. She's bouncing around my head. It's a little tiny orb. Um, Me and my cousin's still here with me. We just flew back in from DR last night, and she came over here and she saw it too. And there she is, if you can see the little orb. I had a very emotional time leaving DR because that was the last place I visited with her, amongst some other, travel woes, things that happen on group trips. And I was really feeling like, damn, I just want to talk to my mama. That's the hardest part with that type of energy, is because she always knew what to say. And she always probably would have thrown in a cuss word or something. So, yeah. But other than that, I'm feeling really great. I'm feeling really great, feeling really refreshed. DR is always a great time. It's always a fun time for me. It's like my third time going. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can see. It's right there. The little orbs bouncing around right there. And she's been right there since I got to this seat this morning. So I just, like, when I saw that orb, I was just like burst into tears like a little baby, because just visually, she had to talk me off the ledge yesterday in the airport because I had an altercation in the airport. Lord have mercy. And I could hear her all in my head talking about, "Chelsea, it's not worth it. You don't need to go to jail in another country. They don't do that. Not today." And I was like, "Mama, you're right. Let me just let it go. Let it go." That whole Aries conversation sometimes you have to have, or somebody has to have with you. This woman was saving seats for me and my sisters, and I went to the desk to ask a question about our flight connecting or being changed. Literally, when I tell you guys it was less than 60 seconds, I came back and my stuff was on the floor. And I was polite. I was calm. I was just like, "Oh, ma'am," because I'm just thinking to myself, it had to be an accident. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this just had to be an accident. I've been sitting in the same spot for almost an hour. Everybody around us could see I was sitting there. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just an accident. I said, "Ma'am, we were sitting right here." I said, "I'm sitting right here. That was my seat." She was like, "You weren't here," in different country. And I was like, "Well, I just got up to go ask a question at the desk. But you weren't here. It's not your seat. You weren't here." I said, "But my stuff was right there. The stuff that you just knocked on the floor, that stuff was right there. But if you weren't here, oh, well, this is my seat now." And I was like, what the hell is going on right now? Because I know somebody is about to pull out a bugged camera. That moment, we're all Aries, when you're just like, "I know this bitch ain't talking to me." Like, she me? Like, what? And so I'm like, "Okay, let me ask again." I said, "Ma'am, you see all these bags right here?" I said, "I'm saving these seats. This is for me and my sisters." I said, "There's some other seats right there, and particularly this seat with this stuff on the floor right here. That was my stuff." Yeah, that was my stuff. And she was like, "Oh, well, it's not your seat anymore. It's not your seat anymore. This is my seat." I said, "Ma'am," still being polite, right? I said, this is my seat. This is my seat, actually. This is my seat right here." So then I was like, "Chelsea, walk away. walk away, and I walked away for a second, and I went and got security. I said, because it's not, I'm in DR still. I need to get back to America, at least make it through customs, right? So I'm like, I'll go get the security. Security don't speak English. And of course, I'm just going to call it a spade a spade. If you don't speak Spanish, they don't give a damn about you. All right. Especially like they don't care if you can't speak Spanish, you're not high on the priority list. I'm telling them, hey, look, this woman just knocked my stuff down. Da, da, da. So he comes over trying to be kind of helpful, and he can speak Spanish, she can speak Spanish. So she's telling her story, right? And I'm just like, I said, you know what? Every time I come back to these fucking countries, I say I'm gonna learn Spanish. This is the time that I'm about to learn, because I don't even think so. So then they're going back and forth about whatever, because I can't understand them. And I'm like, look, I interrupt them. I said, I don't give a damn what y'all are saying. This is my seat, and she needs to move. Like, I don't know you know what I'm saying? You're not even trying to get somebody that speak English. Don't look like you're trying to help me. The security guard looked like he was just did not care, did not give a fuck. So he walked away. And that's when I said, okay, look, you need to move. Like, seriously, now you need to move. Like, this is my seat. I'm saving this seat. I've been sitting here for an hour. And then that's when she said, she was like, no, this is our seat. I'm sitting here now. I said, you know what? Guess what, bitch? It's our seat now. Sit down. I told her, I said, have a fucking seat. You know what? Sit in the seat. Sit down. That's what I told her. I said, sit the fuck down. You're right. This is your seat, and I'm going to sit right next to you. Y'all, I got turned. I got fucking turned. And I was like, she's like, what? I said, no, bitch, sit down now. Sit down. Like, I have not been that turned in so long. And mind you, I tried to keep it calm and cool, collected. And she had a little girl over there to the side. And you know how it is when we black out. I blacked out at this point. I blacked out. So she was like, this is a Karen. Let me just tell you, Karen's is not just America, it's everywhere. All of a sudden, oh my God, you don't have to be so rude. My child's right here. I said, well, you wasn't thinking about your child. You could have been setting a good example for her, right? I said, this is my seat right here, and you over here being on demon time. I said, so now you want to care about your child? And then finally, the people behind me were like, yeah. She was like, that's what you get. Another Spanish lady behind me was like, yeah, that's what you get. You're so rude. You took her seat. She's been sitting here. Then the lady gonna act like a fucking victim. Then they're gonna act like, see, isn't that happen in Aries? We're having an Aries conversation right now. Does that not always happen to us? Am I preaching to the choir? Because we will be so calm, right? Everybody said Aries want to fight. Aries this, Aries that. No, nobody ever talks about how Aries always start out calm and cool and collected. I'm calling this one, you just knocked my stuff on the ground. I'm still calling you ma'am, right? I'm still thinking, okay, this is a misunderstanding, right? I'm still cool, calm, and collected. But then when I pull my hair back and my earrings come off, now I'm a fucking thug. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a fucking thug. I can't. And guess what we did? Guess what happened? I sat right next to, because the thing is, her mama gonna sit right here. She gonna sit right here. You're gonna knock my stuff down. So now I gotta sit in between you two. And when I tell you, I did not take my eye off that woman the whole time she sat right there. Her face was red as a tomato because she wanted to try to stand her ground, but I was staring in her soul. I was staring in her soul. Every time she went this way, my head went this way. Every time she went this way, my head went this way. I did not take my eyes off of her until she got on her plane. Sorry, I had to tell that story because, baby, I just get off a vacation. I'm calm, cool, and collected. I just had a great time on my vacation. We're going to do this in the airport? Oh, I saw this weekend has been crazy, huh? All kinds of things happening in the world. But you see, you know, I had to pull myself back because it could have went further than that, but I didn't want to do that because after I sat there for a minute, that's when I started hearing my mom's voice in my head saying, Chelsea, it's okay. You know, you don't want to do this in here. You don't want to go to jail. And that's when I started calming down and then that's when I started remembering, you know what? It's not flesh and blood, but sometimes it will get like that. You have to calm yourself down. You have to remember it's spirits. Everything is spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of spirit that woman had on her, But I had to stop and ground myself for a second and remember that, because I really could have took it there. But then I said out loud, I made the lady laugh. I said, you know what? I like to travel too damn much for this. Chelsea, just go ahead and sit down. Sit your ass down, because I travel. Okay. I'm not giving up my traveling time for nobody. I had to vent that out, y'all, because that I ain't never been in. You see situations like that being recorded and put on the internet, and I thought I was about to be on the internet that day. I thought I was. She will. She will think twice, because she got it. She got it, and the mama was about to get it too. The mama was about to get it too. And I don't like disrespecting nobody's mama and nobody's child, but that was just some oh. All right, so let's get into this morning energy and see what's going on here. Girl, my stuff was on the ground. I was so flabbergasted, because all I kept thinking was it was a mistake. It had to be a mistake. And then when she started talking to me like that, my head 360. You know that feeling, like, what? Is she talking to me? Can't be. Absolutely not. Cannot be talking to me. She cannot be talking to me. Whew. Let me tell you, Renee, I came a long way, honey. I came a long way. Because I did used to be a fighter. I'm not even going to lie. But that's what we're on. We're on a healing journey. It's okay to have been one place at some point in your life, and now you're here, and I'm still growing. I'm still growing. But then again, I had to keep my boundaries too, because you can't let nobody walk over you. Some people say, oh, you could have just gotten, no, I was here, and I was there for actually an hour. It wasn't like I just got there. I've been sitting there for almost an hour, and everybody around me, no, it's not the braids, apple cinnamon. That's who I am. Let's take a look here for the morning energy here today. I announced here before I left that still had, at the time I had 3 readings. I only have 2 left. Let me see here, and let me know if you guys like the dates here. I have very strict dates. One reading on Wednesday, July 24th, and the other one on July 31st. 2 spots left, and then I'm taking a break until fall. They not like us. Man, straight up attitude. But look, Allie, they never, as much as somebody could, let me pull an oracle message to you, as much as someone can give us attitude, I don't think anybody can match an Aries fire. As much as they think they can, I don't think so. And I know this, and that's where my growth comes in. My growth is that I'm going to try my darndest to remain calm as long as I possibly can. People think that we just pop off from 0 to 100. I try. I really do, because I know once I get there, it's going to take a lot to come back down for me. That takes a lot for me to come back down. Let's see what our ancestors have to say today. Holy Spirit, Spirit guides and angels, please allow me to deliver a clear message here for the Aries collective. What does the ancestors need Aries to know today? So I was watching back the weekly message that I posted, the preview to the week, right? About decluttering, I feel like was the overall message there. And I had just finished getting rid of a lot of old clothes and old stuff last week before my trip to clean out. But when we think about decluttering, also have to think about energies, frequencies, and people. Some people in our lives we may have to remove as well, and that could be a form of decluttering. That's my motto, Kiana. That's one of my affirmations. Luckily, I have Lady Luck on my side when it comes to that. Okay, and so we have protection guardian. Drop your shields. Look at that. That's the one that we need. Protection guardian. Let's take a look. Let's see here. I know this is about being on the defense. Drop any. Okay, so the protection guardian here says, here we have it. It says, drop any shields of shame, resistance, and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. And know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. And this is about the protection message. It says the protection guardian is a feminine version of Archangel Michael. She is fierce, protective, yet loving warrior angel who carries an indestructible shield of power and protection and will come to all who call on her. She will help you drop your fear-based shields and move into a loving, protective force field that will keep you safe, but will allow your gifts to shine out. Although she is here to guard you from lower energies, she is completely relaxed, serene, and confident because she trusts that love will always prevail. Wow, that's beautiful. I'm going to pull another one too, because I feel like that message was for me too. That's something that I kept hearing in my head that whole time, because I thought that lady was going to get another security guard, because I did turn up a little bit. But I kept hearing, you are protected, you are protected. But always call on Archangel Michael or whoever you call on for any type of protection whenever you do need it, or you're even feeling afraid. I would urge you, though, to work on or do some shadow work. Yeah, work on the reasons why you may sometimes have fear come up more than you need to. Because like we had this conversation before, fear is not a frequency that you want to practice regularly. Because whatever frequency that you practice regularly is what is going to show up in your life, a response. You practice abundance regularly, you practice gratitude regularly, the universe is going to bring you things to be grateful for, or things that you will have abundance of. Fear is not it, especially with everything going on in the world right now. The energy wants to produce fear so it can attach to you like a magnet and then control you. All right. Last one we have here is the shapeshifter. It says transform and unveil your gifts. Transform and unveil your gifts. Let's take a look. Thank you, Renee, sending it right back to you. Let's take a look. Shapeshifter, the message here is take your time and focus on developing your gifts and strengths. In a shamanic traditions, a shapeshifter is either an animal that has the capacity to change between species or a shaman who has the capacity to transform into an animal to go journeying. If there is a wild animal you are particularly drawn to or fascinated by, it's probably because you can transform into one into your meditation or journeying practice to go exploring in the other worlds. When you shift into animal form, you can see the world through different eyes and tap into an animal's survival skills to help yourself through a particular situation. Beautiful. Has anybody ever had experience with shape shifting? I know a friend whose grandmother can do that. Yeah, no, nobody wants to be like that, Allie. You're absolutely right. Living in peace and harmony is so much it's better, it's easier, it's more peaceful. Also, just a side note, I was a fighter because before I had a lot of built up anger inside of me, from things that happened in my childhood. But when I went to therapy and worked on those things, chose to release those things and get through those things, the anger left. And I realized I wasn't an angry person, I wasn't a negative person, I just had trauma that was stored up in my body that needed to leave. But are Aries protective by nature? Yes, we are. Are you going to mess with our family and get away with it? No, you're not. Are you going to mess with us and cross our boundaries and get away with it? No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how nice and kind we are as individuals. We are very protective people and dominant people. You're not going to walk over most Aries. You're just not. So yes, through meditation, she did it, Vera Vega. And I think a lot of people can do it. It's not even necessarily turning into another animal or shape shifting, but also just leaving your body. Um, leaving your body. You can do that to go astral projecting and to see things, see into the future. Hello, Mary. Yes, it's so we have to take our healing. We have to take responsibility for our own healing. I truly believe that. When you start to see yourself bleeding on other people, you have to take responsibility for that. All right. Let's take a look here. This is for Aries. What do they need to see today? What is the energy for Aries that they need to know about today, Spirit? You got the World. Okay. Give us one more here for Aries. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first card that you got, Aries, today is the World. The camera is reversed when I'm doing the live, so let's do the World, which talks about completions, the ending of a cycle, a journey that is now complete. And because of this journey being complete, or you finally being able to put something behind you, there's going to be more successful experiences in your life, or something that is ending was a success and now it's done. The first line says a brilliant success, the freedom to go in any direction, a journey that is now complete. I don't know how to do this. Show you guys the cards. A journey that is now complete. And this is beautiful right here. The next two cards literally came out together, Ace of Winter and the Nine of Swords. So 1 + 9 = 10, which talks about completion, right? 10 of Swords is the ending of a difficult cycle. So the Nine of Winter can be stress, anxiety, worries, sleepless nights. So when I'm seeing the Ace of Winter with the Nine of Winter, it literally feels like an answered prayer or a solution to a problem that you have been stressing and worrying about. Okay. The Nine of Winter says unfounded fear, focusing on the worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. Never a good thing. It always makes it worse, right? And then the Ace of Winter, it says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly, accurately, and amazing new ideas that should be implemented. An epiphany, getting an idea here, Aries, getting clarity. Also could be getting the truth of a situation and communication. This could also be you speaking up for yourself and putting an end to a situation just by you finally speaking up on some things. Me and my cousin had this conversation this morning. It's like the worst thing that someone can do is keep something bottled inside. I come from a family where most people, they don't say things to each other. They don't say things to each other, but they say things to someone else behind their back. I think we all experience that in families, right? And I'm the one who's like, nope, I'm saying it straight, whatever. I'm talking to my cousin or whatever. But I had my practice is that I have to learn how to say things because I'm a little aggressive. I just am. But I learned a long time ago from myself, when I'm in this Nine of Swords energy, that's a bad place to be in. That's a bad place to be in, because when you're in the Nine of Swords energy, you, after a certain point, you won't have any control about how these thoughts come out, especially if they're based off of fear, because sometimes that can turn into anger. Sometimes that can turn into like this volcanic eruption. So you never want to be in this Nine of Swords energy too long, especially if it's with someone else, right? Maybe it's something you're having issues with someone else, or you are, like it says, unfounded fear. You're thinking something, they're thinking something totally different. And all you need to do is communicate to have this clear understanding of what really is being said. Some of you, this Nine of Swords can be stress about certain other situations, money, jobs, needing new jobs, worrying about the future. All I could say is that once you put one foot in front of the other, the answer, clarity will come. Okay. A lot of times fear keeps us stuck. And that's the worst place you could be in, because all you're going to do is continue to worry. All right. And so the last card here, the Queen of Summer, is compassion, self-love, comforting, emotional, and intuitive. It says, listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, and taking care of others, perhaps too much. So a need to kind of back up and take care of yourself. Self-care. Self-care. All right. I could see something bouncing over here. Feels like that orb. She's still here. But that's beautiful. Queen of Cups energy here. So Aries, today, let's just put this in a nutshell in like a 3D sense. There might be something today that you've been worrying and stressing about, and the answer is going to come. And not only is the answer going to come, but there's going to be a loving, comforting element to it. So maybe you get advice from a friend. Okay. Maybe it's just your own spirit guides that puts the answer in your head. And so you can stop worrying and then that you can act. All right. Maybe there has been struggles, arguments, and things going on and conflicts in between two lovers or friends or family. And the answer on what to do or how to handle a situation becomes very clear. And however, whatever this situation is for you today, Aries, the world says here that you did a good job. Okay. The world card says that however you figure out how to handle this today is a good job and well done. And you know why? Because you didn't just sit with it or you didn't just ignore it. You're facing this situation, whatever this is, head on. And that's the only way that you can learn lessons and continue to grow and glow and win, is that you have to face the situations head on. You have to keep going. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to vent to you and be my sounding board. All I knew is that I had to make it back to my babies today, and I could have been in that Dominican jail right now at this very moment, and y'all would have been like, "Where is she?" And I couldn't have that happen. So thank God for growth. I know some people will be like, "Ugh," I'm like, really? You can't control yourself? But look, that things had to be done. Things had to be done. Things had to be said. And there was a few bitches that had to be thrown around. I was shocked at myself when the B word came out of my mouth. Not that I don't cuss, but I was shocked that it came out like it did. Like my mom came out of me at that moment. I was like, okay, bitch, have a seat right here. She was flabbergasted. But anyways, you guys take care. Just to let you know, again, reminder, I only have two readings left. Looks like somebody just sent a payment for one. So only 2 readings left. So let me know if you guys are interested on one left. You know, Sean, Mega, did you go on a resort? Because me and my cousin had that experience at this resort. Now, this might sound a little bougie, but we were on a group trip. So you know, with group trips, you have to fit and accommodate everybody's budget. And I'm a very easy, go with the flow type of person. But I'm going to just tell you, this was not my status and level of resorts. And let me just say, I'm not balling by any means, but when I'm traveling and you have like a year to plan to go travel, you just budget to pick what you know you're going to enjoy, because a vacation is meant to be in a vacation. You know what I'm saying? Vacation is out of the ordinary, out of your usual, out of your normal experiences, right? So give yourself the best, budget and give yourself the best. And that, honey, that's what I do. Okay. That's what I do. And because this was a group trip, the budgets, we had to accommodate budgets. And let me tell you, I did not like feeling like I was eating in the cafeteria every day. You guys can see I got a little weight on me. I work out, but I like to eat. And it wasn't good. This was my second resort experience in DR. The first, top of the line, but even still at that resort, the food could have been better. My first experience, I stayed in Santo Domingo, and I stayed in a house with a chef and a cook. We almost stayed at that one, Sean. My God, that was one of the options, the Royalton. I ended up staying at the Breathless. If you're looking for somewhere to party and just to party, Breathless is for you. Me and my cousin were looking at each other like, girl, we too old for this shit. Like, I went with my little sisters. We had to sneak away and go get a massage on the beach because they was about to run us ragged. Okay. I like to have my feet up, somebody feed me some fruit and massaging me. Okay. And they wanted to party every night. And boy, did we party. I mean, it's good to experience that every once in a while, but Breathless was a party resort. Last year, I don't know. I love DR. I can't say which one I love the best because I always go back and forth. I always say Puerto Rico is my happy place, but then again, I love Mexico too. But I would agree with you, Sean, is that we didn't have the greatest experience with food on this trip. So that's just my takeaway from Breathless. It wasn't up there. I think the best food that I've ever had yet to date is probably in Puerto Rico. But I don't know. Correct me. Tell me, y'all, please, because I'm looking to book another trip. Where is the best food that you've had on vacation? Let me know right now. We're even thinking about going to Guatemala too next year. So I'd love to know in the comment section. But all right, so that's what I have for you guys. And take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Baby, me too. I love me some Mexico. I'm about to book my next trip.